Hello and greetings from Iceland. This is a Christmas special with a few twists and turns. And I'm starting with a Christmas hot dog that I noticed in an advertisement recently, and it turned out to be a neat little Christmas story to work around. Since in Iceland, we often mix popular ideas to see if they blend into something sellable. And the main characteristics of Icelandic candy production is chocolate and licorice, blended together in many forms. And this idea of product blending was elevated to another level before this Christmas, when a chain of roadside stores took Iceland's fast food number one, the hot dog, and made it from Iceland's most popular Christmas steak. So I decided to sacrifice myself for the science and test it so you don't have to. And let's see how it worked out.
Það laukur,
Það kartöflusalat fyrst.
byrjum á kartöflusalati.
Fyrst kartöflusalati. Svo hérna piklaður rauðlaukur.
Já.
Það var búið í honum. Piklaður rauðlaukur. Svo kemur hamborgarhrygspylsan.
Og þá meira reykt eða hvað málið?
Já, hún aðeins meira reykt.
Okay.
En svo hún líka bara hamborgarhryggur.
Okay.
Eða svona svín.
Já,
Svo
okay.
hérna rauðkál. Svo setjum við brúna sósu á hana.
Hvernig sósaði þetta?
Þetta kjúklingasósa.
Kjúklingasósa?
Já. Svo erum við með laufabrauðsmulning.
Laufabrauð?
Svona gerir það.
Já, góðan daginn.
Njóttu.
And after all this work getting this hot dog ready for me, I'm not sure if I will order it again, although the idea was actually quite fun. And let's get more serious about the Icelandic Christmas food. At 6 o'clock, the church bells start ringing and we begin the family feast, where over 50% of Icelanders choose the smoked rack of pork. And this dish is actually one of the Danish traditions that became a part of our culture. But what we drink with this on Christmas Eve has actually nothing to do with Denmark. This is the evening when we mix together orange soda with alcohol-free brown ale called malt. And that drink alone has a dash of licorice in it. And when we combine it with the orange juice, the outcome is oddly satisfying blend that fits very well with smoked meat for some reason. And those who don't prefer the pork, they usually go for the Icelandic lamb that was for a long time in second place when it comes to popularity, but it shares it now with the turkey. And the turkey is actually a relatively new custom. And as for the fourth place, that is a truly Icelandic custom, or the ptarmigan, or a rjúpa, as we call it in Icelandic. It is, however, a fact that the wild Arctic fox, he likes this dish as well. So the bird population is fluctuating, and there have been years when we had to deal with hunting restrictions or even trade bans, meaning that hunters could only hunt what they needed for their own Christmas dinner. And like elsewhere in the world, we have our little traditions when it comes to desserts and sauces and such. The treat I got this year was broccoli with bacon bits. That goes actually very well with smoked meat. And as for beef, that is something that we usually don't do until New Year's Eve. That is a time when we get more experimental with food, or while we are embracing the party mood as well. So our traditions are, in some cases, mildly eccentric, like to serve Coca-Cola in a bottle where it is consumed through a straw made of licorice. And that is more of a humorous treat for my generation that remembers this well. And as for our weirdest and worst tradition, I have a separate video about the fermented stinkfish. I'm linking to that video, but it includes the full story. And fermented skata is genuinely a baffling dish that we only serve on December 23rd. Even my little brother fell into this trap, and he doesn't believe me when I tell him what I experienced when I was working in a fish factory in the village Grindavík a long time ago. And there is a reason for why this fish smells like it does. And there is also a reason for why I never eat pissfish. And I learned everything about that in Grindavík. And as most of my regular viewers know, it is the same village that was abandoned in November 2023. And that event took my channel into a strange new direction and my life as well. And like I mentioned in my last volcano update, I was a bit worried if the next eruption would turn into another setback for the village. Mainly since for a while it looked as the eruption would start maybe shortly before Christmas, which was not the ideal timing because the resurrection of the village has started and many families were planning to spend Christmas there. So the town was decorated for the first time as a sign for the times to come, and I'm happy to say that everything turned out well. Many families were able to reunite in their old community with the hope that we are seeing this chapter coming to an end at this location, and things will only get better. And that is actually a subject for one of my next updates, since I have already enough material for a decent volcano update. December was overall very calm on the surface, but we had plenty of underlying unrest. So I have plenty of material to work with that will be made into an update before the year is over. And here in the north, we didn't get White Christmas this time, which happens every now and then here in Iceland. December was, however, white from time to time and often very beautiful. And I suspect that we won't have to wait for long to get the snow back. And it is instability that characterizes the Icelandic climate. Like the last years have actually been colder than we expected, so we just never know what we will get. And as for filming in December, I have been hoping to be able to capture the glowing and colorful clouds that appear often in December and January. And this was filmed with a drone last year, but the filming method I would prefer to use now is of course my full-frame mirrorless Nikon with a zoom lens, or to make a time-lapse from RAW files for best possible color details. And I'm leaving a link to this time-lapse so you know what I mean. So happy Christmas to all of you. My next update will be online soon, since I have been collecting bits and pieces for that update the last few weeks. And I have also a little New Year special in the making where I talk about my channel. So I'm not done with 2025 just yet. And with that, I'm sending you best regards from the volcano island, Iceland.